Yo, welcome back to another episode of On the Spot Sports. I'm Jack, and today's episode we are joined by a current professional hockey player, currently with the Baton Rouge Zydeco in the Federal Prospects Hockey League, Eli Wilson. Eli has spent the last couple years in the Federal Prospects Hockey League with the Watertown Wolves and the Elmira River Sharks, and he's also had a stint in the Southern Professional Hockey League with the Knoxville Ice Bears, and he also had a cup of coffee in the East Coast Hockey League for training camp with the Reading Royals the year before. So he's had quite a trip to the pros. Even before that, he was with the Muskegon Voyagers and the Michigan Independence Hockey League, and then before that, he was with the Philadelphia Revolution in the EHL, and even prior to that, with the Mona Shores High School for high school hockey in Muskegon, Michigan. So I'm really excited to get you on, Eli. So welcome to the show, Eli Wilson.
Dude, thank you, Jack. I appreciate it, man. That was a heck of an introduction.
Yeah, of course. Gotta give my guests the best of the best, and I know you've been working your ass off like ever since you got in the pros, and even before that. So like, I'm really excited to dive into your career and like just to explore like what you've done and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, man. Pretty much how I got started, I grew up playing co-ed hockey and just I grew up without a mom, a dad, kind of grew up with my grandma and she owned a business and so she couldn't really travel for any like type of travel hockey. So I played at a local rink, just guys and girls, and ended up playing 1 or 2 years at varsity and did not take it serious at all. I was playing all types of sports, baseball, football, and ended up my grandma passed away my senior year, and so I actually gave up hockey. I gave everything up. That's when I was playing Philly Rev. Dude, I was eating like food off the shelves or at the gas station just because I was so broke,
Yeah.
and made it through that 6 years, started working and just kind of work life and came home and Truxton, actually, I was bodybuilding, man, had nothing to do, just working, lifting weights. And Truxton was like, dude, just try to play hockey. Come see with the Voyagers, see what's going on. I know you haven't played in a while. And I'm sure, as you know, like when you actually work at something versus kind of like a kid and you just play with God-given talent,
Yeah.
and now you're in the weight room, now you're training, and you can see some exponential growth. I was like, dude, I should do this before I'm too old. Like, let's give it everything we got. We got nothing to lose. I didn't grow up playing. So this is literally, let's see how far we can make it. And so I started playing in the mill, the MIHL. Had so much fun, dude. It was amazing. Just being back with the boys and the camaraderie and just the beers on the road. And I decided to take another step forward, and I was like, all right, like I'll try to train for the Fed because the mill was just in the hometown. As you
Yeah.
know, you go to work, go home, and you got games on Fridays. And so I actually had someone that was in touch, Jake LeMay. He was in touch with Jeff Carr, who's now a coach in Norfolk, and he actually got me to a camp with Brent Clark, and that's when Brent was the coach of Watertown, and I had a really good camp with them there, and ended up getting a contract to Watertown. And of course, Clarkey took off to Knoxville that year, and Cars he went to Norfolk, so I didn't even get to work with Brent. But those two guys got me in the door, and I'm so thankful. And so I had a year, started out with Justin Coachman, or well, no, I actually got called up to the SP and started camp in the SP. And I mean, coming from no background of hockey, I mean, I was so nervous, man,
Yeah.
and I didn't know how to handle the going to work every day, and it doesn't matter whether you get cut, traded, whatever. Like you show up and you do what you do. I mean, I was worried every day, like, is it my turn? Or, and obviously you don't play your best, you're looking over your shoulder every 2 seconds and you're not passing hard because you're afraid to make a bad pass. And ended up making it through camp, survived. I think there was a couple games there. I didn't play, I was scratched, got sent down to the Fed, was so excited just to play some hockey, you know what I mean? Just to play. Um, Ended up getting there. We're going to Columbus, and I get a call from Clarky while I'm in the bathroom pissing on the bus. He's like, "Hey, like we have like we're gonna need you. A call up, yada yada." And so I ended up getting called up. Played, I think it was 5 games there, and I don't think I got a point. I played a little timid, and I wasn't as aggressive as I should have been. But I mean, shit, I had so much fun. Ended up getting sent back down. Finished the year in the Fed, and had a heck of a year. Um, I don't even remember what it was, but it was. I'm glad he sent me down because I needed that experience. I needed to find my game and learn how to play as a job. And so after that year, had a really good year. And second year, um, ended up getting traded and went to Elmira with Jurich, which his history. He's got a really good history in the
Yeah.
Fed. 300 goals, I think the most goal scorer,
A lot
etc.
of
Yada
leading
yada yada.
categories in the Fed.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much him and who's the old other guy, Mafuz.
Yeah.
It's him and Mafuz just running the whole league. Um, so I was excited to play for kind of like a player's coach, understand, just more understandable, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. And literally right when I got there, I got a call from Reading, and that was for camp. And man, I was ecstatic. So I went into that. Kind of had a rough year training in the summer. After you come off a really, really good year, you think that you can just kind of do it. And I don't want to say I let my foot off the pedal a little bit. I was expecting to go to the Fed again, and I was expecting to do what I did, and it was a rude awakening for me,
Yeah.
which I needed. And so I got to Reading, ended up playing 2 preseason games with Houston Wilson, who had a heck of a showcase there too.
He was a beauty too. Great
Oh
guy.
man, yeah, solid guy. We always go at it with the Wilson name, who's yeah. Um, but so I got there, had what 3 or 4 practices, 2 games. Was there for about a week and a half, week. And after that, I ended up going back to Elmira, and what I think I was 6 games in, and I was doing really well, and separated my AC joint
Oh,
and tore my labrum, and then even later in the season ended up getting something with my rotator cuff, and I didn't know how to. So I was wanting to get out of the Fed so bad, man, that I was like, like I'm gonna play through this and I'm gonna do it and just kind of get going. I was taking Toradol shots, even after games sometimes, just to
wow.
go home and like get 8 hours of sleep, not hurting, like rolling over on either shoulder. And had kind of a mid-season. I didn't do as well as I should have. I should have got healthy. And so in the summer, I told you about my buddy Sean Helverson. He works with like Aiden Hutchinson and a couple guys in the NFL. He was able to kind of just really break down my whole body. Why is this hurting? And drew up a plan. My shoulders feel amazing. Um, and so yeah, then we ended up getting traded to Baton Rouge. Elmira folded, and so what better place than to go down south? So yeah, man, I ended up reaching out to Everett, who was the coach from Michigan, and my agent, thankfully, Brett Beauvais, and their agency is amazing. If anyone is looking for one, they made the deal happen, and that's my whole story.
And how it's like it's been like a crazy journey for you, but now you're going to Baton Rouge where you're expected to put up a good season, hopefully get that call to the SB as well. So like how excited are you to get started in Baton Rouge?
Extremely excited. I've found more of a hunger and with the experience that I've learned in the past, just learning from some guys day in, day out. some actual professionals, like just even J Mac, for just watching how he operates on a daily basis, and um, I've kind of found my grounding, and I'm excited going into my year 3, with some of the stuff I've learned, how to prepare, and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want, you haven't seen it all, but I mean, you've seen a lot of the situations that are going to happen, so it's not like you're going into stuff that you haven't seen before.
Yeah, and like the biggest thing to having a good year is like the preparation part, and like you put on a hell of an off season from like I've seen it personally, and like just from like what we've talked about as well, like with training, lifting, skating, you're skating a lot and you're lifting a lot as well. So like what has training been like for you for this off season compared to like past off seasons?
This a lot of So in the past, I did a lot of overworking. I would overwork my body and wouldn't see results. This summer has been um, at least 7 days a week. I was on the ice with my buddy Alex Gaffney, who plays at Harvard. Super thankful he would have me out. Constant edge work and shooting, everything like that. You really kind of find weak parts of your game and you make them strong, and then you find what you're good at and make
Yeah.
them. You get really good at them. And so this summer's been amazing, man. He's had me out. We've pushed each other, and we call it the doghouse. When we battle, I mean, we're ripping each other apart and going at it. But as soon as that whistle blows, like, hey, we're boys. You know what I mean? Like, competition breeds success.
Yeah.
Like, nothing drives me crazier than going into a drill, a practice, or something, and someone's just happy to be there, and they expect to get better out of nowhere. Like, you have to push yourself to get better. And so that's ice wise. I was doing that. I was on the ice probably about 7 to 10 times a week. Certain times I'd cut back just to make sure I'm resting enough.
Yeah.
But lifting, I did a four lift split, um, kind of all summer, and did a 3 day break because I work um, 6 days a week, and so that's tough too, trying to keep weight on with all that. But
Yeah.
so the lifting went really well, man. Sean pushed me to my brink. I feel so strong with my shoulders, and yeah, nothing's better going into the season with some confidence.
Yeah, and like when you put in all that work and like you have that confidence, like your shoulders as strong as it's been, like you have that confidence where like you don't have to worry about like maybe if I take a hit a wrong way, like something's gonna happen to my shoulder. Like if I make a pass, like something might happen. But like now you're able to
Absolutely,
just focus and dial in just with practice and like go all out instead of like having like this regret to do something because you could potentially hurt yourself again.
100%. And when you tear a labrum or you separate an AC joint or something like that, you're gonna. I mean, all season I just kind of like would baby it, and
Yeah.
just going into the corner, you're not smashing as hard as you can. So you're exactly right, man. All summer we were just, and I told him, like, I have to test my durability of my
Yeah.
shoulders. So like, please hit me hard, reverse hit me, whatever. I'm hitting you. And yeah, like all those thoughts went out the window. Like, I feel strong, and I owe a lot of that to Sean Halverson.
Yeah, that's good. And like it gets you strong going into the season. And then just to have good training partners on the ice as well helps. Like I saw it personally with you and Gaff and Gabe too. Like everyone's going hard when I skate with you guys after the Muskegon skates. Like everyone's going hard. Like but your buddies like as soon as the whistle, like you're just laughing it off. Like you guys give each other
100%.
good cross checks, like battling it out. And but like at the end of the day, like the competition breeds success, like you said, and like that's what because like Gabe and I did the same thing with the competition as well, and it really
That's what I
elevates
was
your
gonna
game as
say.
well.
I was gonna say exactly that. It's like, just because we're pushing each other, like, we want, like, obviously everyone to get better.
Yeah,
And so that's what's fun about having two goalies out there, is because you guys just, I mean, you guys are pushing each other the same that we're pushing each other. A couple
yeah.
chirps here or there, get under your skin, and
You don't want to give up more goals than the other goalie.
exactly, that's the name of the game. I
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
just a lot of fun. Like you learn a lot from going through experiences like that, and you're just working to get better every single day. Like that's the biggest thing is like even with the off days between like workouts on ice sessions, like just do something to get better. Like whether it
100%.
be drinking water, like stretching, do mobility on your off days, like find that find something that's going to get you better because like every day if you get at least 1% better, it's going to add up to 365+% better by the year, and you're going to be happy with what you put in through the off season. And then when you go into the season, everything you do in the off season translates to how you're going to do in season.
Absolutely. And one of my favorite quotes, I was from war movie, I can't remember, but like, anything worth doing is worth overdoing.
Yeah,
And I mean this like it you blink and I'm already at year 3, you know what I mean? And this is kind of my make or break year. I got to have a good year if I want to keep doing this, you
yeah,
know, and I got to make it a team in the higher league and SP and become a solid player. So yeah, it's you got to take it serious and you have to give it your all every day because there's guys out there left and right that are getting their chances taken to play the game. Like I
yeah,
mean, like you know, just freak accidents happen, and um, yeah, just it's a blessing to be on the ice every day and work your bag off because you're not gonna get better just by luckiness, randomness. You know, you gotta put the work in and
yeah,
enjoy it. Enjoy the journey. Don't be a miserable bag. You know,
yeah.
like
Every day there's an opportunity to get better, and are you gonna take it, or are you just gonna slack off and not work out? Like you're like,
yeah,
oh, I'm
and
too tired to work out. Like that's another day that's passing you by. But if
yeah,
you have that inside motivation to go out and work out, even when you're dog tired, like you said,
100%.
you skated 7 to 10 times a week. Like I'm sure you're tired through five, skate 4 or 5, but like you push through, and like that's what's gonna separate you from the other people.
Absolutely, and it's all mental. I mean, I try to tell myself, not try, I tell myself, with all those skates. I mean, I was hitting weeks sometimes where I was at like 14 times a week, and I would necessarily call those like a hell week, and I'd take time off after or before, like obviously
Yeah,
not work myself into the ground, but I would try to build endurance because, like I said, in the season you've got these 3 and 3s. Sometimes last year I had a 4 and 4 and like nothing gets me going more than like going into the third game or fourth game and you can see it just in the other team's face like they don't want to be there.
yeah,
And I mean you're used to skating how many times a week? Like this is nothing. Like let's get it going. And I like feed off that. And so I really keep that mentality in the summer to just hound it and build that endurance up in my legs and in my lungs. And but it's easy to overdo it. Like as hard as you're training, you got to recover. Like you
yeah,
got to be ice bath, you got to stretch, you got to be taking your protein, you got to be taking other stuff, your BCAs. Like you got to. There's so much that falls in line when you want to work that hard. It's like you got to recover twice as hard, and it's not easy.
yeah. Especially when you're such a workhorse, like you're going through everything to work hard, and then a lot of the time we usually forget about that recovery phase, and like
Yeah, it's huge.
that's when guys get hurt and everything. But like if you're making sure you're prioritizing that recovery time, especially after skating 13 14 times a week, like
Yeah.
you're and like getting your stretching in, your protein, all that stuff, like that's what's gonna give you an edge over the other guys that aren't doing that, and then they're not going to be prepared for those 3 and 3s, 4 and 4s, because boy are those tough.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I've kind of been, I don't want to say lucky with my body where, like I said, I didn't play AAA growing up. I didn't play travel. I didn't play none of that. And so I didn't necessarily beat my hips up or beat my body up like I would
Yeah,
have if I grew up playing. And like I've got buddies who are just getting hip surgeries and still playing the game just as well, if not better, simply just because they've done it since they were so young, and your body can only take so much. So I am very thankful that my body's able to endure that much because I haven't put that much wear and tear on it, I guess you could say, in the past or growing up. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. So
Yeah.
just got to take care of it. It's like a classic car.
Yeah, you gotta take care of it and do whatever it can to hold that energy and hold the and not get injured and just be able to go in, perform at your best every single day, even when you are really pushing it.
Absolutely. Yeah, stretching is a must, man.
Yeah,
It's easy to get hurt.
yeah. I think that's one of the things that like the younger generation like gets away from is how important stretching is and everything. Because like I ran in high school and college, and like I didn't really take stretching seriously until maybe my sophomore, junior year of college. But like now, like I see people not even stretch or anything like that before games, like before meets or like whatever sport they're doing. Like stretching has definitely become less and
Yeah.
less. But like I try to like if I'm to give advice on stretching, it's even if it's 5 minutes of stretching, it's better than doing no minutes of stretching or just so like as long as you're stretching at least something, like it's gonna help at the end of the day. But you really need to get that stretch and because it'll help recovery and it'll help your growth as well.
Yeah, well, if you take your performance seriously and I mean, I've played with some old dogs and where they kind of just don't care, you know, and then which rightfully so, they played forever and
Yeah,
they know what they're doing or whatever. But then I played with some young guys who didn't stretch, and I've heard them just like, oh, like it's just the Fed, you know what I mean? Like we're just, you know what I mean? It's just the Fed. Well, like if it's just the Fed, why are you here? You
yeah,
know? And I mean, putting myself down at the same time there. Like, I mean, if you're gonna have that mentality, then you shouldn't be here. You know, if you think you're above and you're better, like why haven't your play proven it? You know, and so that in that sense of like taking your training seriously, that's just how it all falls on. You know.
yeah. I'm here to develop, take my training, my sport seriously, and just continue to go up the pro ranks, just like you are. So like you just gotta
Absolutely.
take everything seriously and recover, do what you can in the off season to really gain that edge and just continue to prove people wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you like when you first got back into hockey, you said like in the middle, like you found your love for the game again and everything like that. So like, what was your time like in Muskegon with the Voyagers and just getting back into the game and really enjoying the game again?
It was so much fun, man. Because I was playing with buddies that I knew. Truxton, Luke McCarthy, Jason Rebellis. Um, it was fun. You're getting to play with buddies who are literally playing for the love of the game. They're going to
Yeah,
work the next day. They're not there getting paid. They're not, you know. And so it was cool. I just played just for fun at first. And then once I saw just like I was just like doing better than what I thought, I guess. That's in the middle of the season when I started taking it actually serious and trying to make the Fed. And the league is, dude, it's perfect for what it is. Like I hear a lot of people talk down on it, but it's simply for people that either want to play just because they get that itch and have fun and that, and it's also there for an opportunity for people at home who think they can go to the higher level to prove themselves there and then work their way up, you know. But it was fun. Our owner, he was a beauty. He would give us we didn't get paid, but we had buses paid for, hotels paid for, food after games, I think on the road paid for, and so it was fun. It was awesome.
yeah. Like what do you learn from playing in a league like that and just like using it to help yourself develop and get to that next level in the Fed?
The biggest learning point for me there was there's a couple. One of them is there's a lot of pretenders. A lot of guys like to bark and like not a lot of bite behind it. But the main thing I learned from there was just you got to work hard. It's even in the mill if you're lazy or whatnot, like there's guys that'll shut you down. Like
Yeah,
you got to work hard. And my biggest leap was really looking at it like a job. When I left the mill, it was like it was probably one of the coolest things. I was like, holy shit. I mean, I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was like, I'm getting paid to play a game right now once I made it to the Fed. So, I mean, I learned a lot in the fundamentals wise, because I worked with a guy, Chad Switzer, who runs Switzer and Co Hockey.
yeah,
That's who trains Gaffney and phenomenal training. Him and his dad actually, and it's the coolest group. Um, but he would watch some of my games and stuff that I needed to work on. He would develop, and he kind of crafted me into the player that I am, if you will. And so yeah, the mill did exactly what it did. I got my fundamentals in and got the base of my game.
yeah, exactly. And like the mill is like it continues to get better every single year. Like a lot more people are taking it more seriously than it was in the past, and like that's good. And like it's really helped me develop my game as well since that was like the first real competitive team that I was on with or in the league with as a goalie because like I was a player
Yeah,
through high school. So like just to be able to get those game repetitions and just to be able to compete at a level with guys that have ACHA experience or guys that some guys even have like Fed SP experiences that go down to that league. So like it was good to develop my game more through that league and just to get the foundations, the fundamentals like you said and like every like I it's a league where like everyone wants to have that like competitive play that
hmm
and everyone wants to not everyone wants to move up, but like they want to stay in the game. But like the guys that do want to move up, like it just pushes you to help to like move up with them as well.
100%. And I like to say it's for two people that don't get that itch when like they play men's league, but it's
Yeah.
just not like they're not getting what they're looking for, and then you can hit, you can fight, and so it's really whatever you make of it. You can have the best time of your life and make it fun, have a couple beers after, or you can use it as like a training tool, you
Yeah, exactly.
know?
Like you said, it's the way you look at it, and it's just continuing to grow and continuing to get better. And like I remember you saying that like you can't dominate like at these skates anymore. Like it's like hard for you to dominate, and it's like it makes you really play your game, and especially like at these like skates that like off-season skates.
100%. And I mean, just because I mean, even when I was just having fun, like what, 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, it's nothing like what it was at the start.
Yeah.
You could damn near go end to end, and just every time and kind of light it up. Um, but now, yeah, no, there's a lot of guys. Even at the end of the year when I played there was guys coming down from the Fed and for I don't remember if it was Waterford. I think it was Waterford.
Yeah.
Um, and there was a lot of guys. What was it for? Indiana Tech. A lot of guys were just buddies and from Indiana Tech, and so you're pretty much playing an AC, not an ACHA team, but everyone pretty much played for them, and so it's gotten a lot better in the past, and I think it does exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it definitely is. But that got you the step into the feds. Like what was your first experiences like in the Fed and like those like Fed stories that you hear all the time?
Oh boy, I can't share all of them. I'll tell you how much.
Oh yeah, sure.
Um,
We gotta go the PG ones.
yeah, there some of the funny stuff that happened. I'm trying to think in the Fed because there was some funny stuff that happened in the SP too. I missed the rookie party, but Oh man, I would say this past year there was some funny stuff. I can't say necessarily. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to keep this PG here, so I'm trying to think of some stuff. Um, I mean, there's stories of guys ending up at Elmira College. Well, my first year. No, you got me in a pretzel here. I didn't get to experience anything necessarily crazy. Now, like the unfortunate events of like buses breaking down,
Yeah.
um, Section 8 housing when I first got there. uh, there was a lot of like rude awakening moments. But my second year in Elmira, that's when I got to have a lot of like Yarwood was on the
Yeah.
team, um, Legend in the Fed, with Jurich. Um, they made us do some. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Nothing crazy bad, no,
Yeah, but hey, it's
but
it's all good times and like it makes for some pretty good stories when you're just sitting
yeah,
around with the boys, like having beers with them, like after your career's over, like you can just tell all these stories and have
yeah.
memories for your life.
We had a buddy on our team who would he would get banged up, and we would show up to practice. Somehow he always got forgiven by coach. He was a hell of a player. It wasn't Yarzy, but he would end up going to Penn State and get banged up and would like miss the next day of practice, show up, and I remember times we had to go drag this guy out of the house just to get him to practice. And so there were some funny stories like that. Um, but I mean, I didn't experience anything too crazy. I wasn't out at the bars as much as I guess I should have been.
Yeah.
Kind of wasted half of my year with a girl. Never do that again.
Hey, you live and you learn.
I
Yeah,
should
but
say that.
yeah, it's
But
all
Baton
good
Rouge,
times and fun times though.
yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna have some funnier things happen here in Baton Rouge now. Just being a vet and LSU being right there and being such a party town. Um, yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a. I will show up to work, but it's gonna be a fun one.
Oh yeah. As long as you still show up, that's all that matters at the end of the day. You could have all the fun, you just got to show up the next day.
What do they say? If you want to hoot with the owls, you got to soar with the eagles in the morning, or
Something like that.
some corny like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's it for there.
Yeah, but like you've had good years in the Fed and you've also got call-ups to the SP and hopefully you're gonna make it back up there this year. Like what was the biggest thing you learned going from the Fed to the SP when you went with Knoxville?
Fed to the SP. Uh, Obviously the pace is a bit quicker.
Yeah.
I needed a week or two, just a week to kind of adapt. But it's more of the IQ. I mean, the IQ. I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh, the SP is the same as the Fed. SP is the same as the Fed." And I say this every time. I'm like, "Well, then why aren't coast guys going down to the Fed instead of the SP? Why are they going because there is a gap in every single league,
Yeah.
and the IQ part was my most fun thing to learn as I moved up. Um, just lanes for passes, guys are looking for the way plays are developing, and how much you can trust a teammate. There's so much structure. Where in the Fed, it's kind of just a circus. Guys are running around. You don't know what's open. You don't know where your guys are. In the SP, a lot more structure. I know my release D is going to be far side. If I'm trapped in the corner, I can release it out, and I know
Yeah.
he'll be there. I don't have to look 20 times to see. I mean, I'm some of my previous teams, if the D man's picking his nose, like not even paying attention. And so, same thing, but like you got to know your job just as much as they know theirs. Like you got to know your job, you got to
Yeah.
pay attention, and it's not the lowest level of pro hockey. So there's guys that can take your spot any day. Whether you're nervous to be cut, traded, or indifferent, you have to show up to produce, you know?
Yeah, that's huge things to learn. Like it boosts your confidence. Like once you adjust to everything, and you're like, I can compete at this level. And like once you get adjusted, like that's when your confidence goes up. And that's when you get hungrier because like you're like especially when you get sent down to back to the Fed, you're like I want to be back in the SP. So like it makes you
Absolutely.
hungrier to work your bag off the rest of the year, like bear your chances like when they come. So it really like helps you like want to be at that next level and then continue to keep going up the pro ranks.
Yeah, absolutely. And my favorite part is like seeing a lot of these great players play, and even the little bit of time that I had at Reading, um, you think this like the skill is so unfathomable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you get to see it in person, like you can tell it's a lot of hard work and dedication, but like a lot of it isn't unreachable. Maybe the IQ and stuff like that is totally different. Um, but once you get to see it in person and you're on the same sheet of ice with whoever, um, you're like, okay, like I see what that looks like now. I need to get up to that speed and like you have a model, you know what I mean, of not person, but like you have a model of okay, that's how fast I need to be. Okay, like versus never really kind of seeing it and you just think that it's supposed to be lightning quick, which is unrealistic. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There's a certain unrealistic point. So it's nice to see. I don't mean to say guys like just bobble a puck once in a while. Holy shit, he is human. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Like that's okay. He does mess up too sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's what he does after the mess up. It's his third, fourth, fifth try. Like it's effort. And that's what separates people. That's what separates them. Like it's a fourth, fifth, sixth effort
So
game.
it's a mindset at the end of the day.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, like are you gonna freak out after you bobble a pass or like and then your next pass you're gonna bobble it again. But then if you have like a different mindset, like just gonna like uh I don't know what the situation would be, but like just have like a positive mindset and like the next time you get a
100%.
pass, like you're not gonna bobble it like compared to like when you're having that negative mindset and like freaking out compared to having that positive mindset when everything will be fine, everything's a learning experience.
Yeah, I think Kobe Bryant had a good way of putting it in a video I heard. He even said, like, if I miss, someone asked him, like, if you miss that 3-pointer for a game winner or whatever, if you miss that three, does that bother you? He's like, no, like, if I miss a 3-pointer, like, I know that next one's going in. Like,
Yeah.
I'm shooting that it's going in. And if I miss that second one, you better watch out because that third one, I'm making sure it goes in.
Yeah.
And if that third one misses, like all hell's breaking loose because I'm putting that fourth one in regardless. You know what I mean? Or like that mentality of keep going. Um, and yeah, I don't want to say you can sniff out like players that are unconfident. They're not passing the puck hard. They're not, well, you know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and you
Gripping the
thrive.
stick too tight.
Yeah, you thrive off that, and you throw a couple chirps at them here or there and get them off their game. And it's the same with me though. My rookie year, I'm gripping the stick tight. Someone says something to me, and I'm not even thinking about the game anymore. I'm thinking about a fight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's some of the stuff I've learned. Even just focus of the task at hand. There's enforcers out there to try to take you out because you're changing the game.
Yeah. And it goes back to like what Gaff said to you when I was up there when he's like, when you get frustrated, like I'm gonna go even harder that next rep and because I know that I have you. So like I like that was like an
100%.
eye-opening like statement that Gaff made to you that like I was like, wow, like this is what it
Yeah.
takes from being like at this level and like really going up another notch.
And him and I are good friends. You would think being good friends in a practice and oh like shit, like my training buddy, like oh he's pissed off, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I might let up a little bit, just I'm not trying to piss him off. Like no, like he's pushing me hard. Like, oh, you're upset because I just scored on you? I'm about to steal it from you again and score again. I can tell you're
Yeah.
pissed. Like and man, I'm so thankful for that because like that's just I mean it I've had that was it's tough. It is tough when you're having a mental day. And I mean, I'm not a D1 athlete at the end of the day. I mean, I didn't play Division 1 hockey. Um, and I'm battling with a Division 1. I'm not necessarily supposed to win every time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, believe me, I'm fighting for it. And so there's some mental days there where he's just twisting and turning
Oh
around
yeah.
me. I'm just motherfucking everything, you know. But he's right, and I've adapted that type of mentality. Like it's when you see someone's frustrated or just not put, you got them, and
Yeah.
now it's time to put the pedal to the metal. Like that goalie's frazzled. You just saw that goalie slash his stick on the post. We got him.
You got him. He's beat.
Next shot, I'm putting it on him. Yeah, like I know I'm in his head, living rent free.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's all about having a powerful mindset and just being able to have that mindset when all these different situations come about. Like you just gotta like pedal the metal. Like doesn't matter what happens, it's always gotta be positive, and you just gotta keep fighting for that
Yeah,
next step, whether it be like getting that next shot off, getting that next goal, making that next save after a bad goal against, like whatever it may be. Like you just gotta stay positive and just go for it.
there's a fine line from being too serious and too aggressive.
Yeah,
You need to learn um how to have fun working hard, you know what I mean? Because if you're busting your ass and you do make a mistake, there's no reason to slam your stick. There's
yeah,
no reason to bang something. We're not in the NHL, or we're not going to be perfect. Even guys in the NHL, excuse me, sorry, are getting beat left and right, and just certain drills, whatever. And so yeah, it's all mental. Like it's all yeah, it's all
yeah,
mental.
yeah.
You just gotta be
Exactly.
willing to go to work.
That's half the battle is just being able to go to work and really want something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to go into your time in the coast a little bit here. It's like what was your time like in Reading in the ECHL's training camp? Like you played in a couple preseason games as well. So like you have the jersey, like you see like the Philadelphia Flyers and the Phantoms like logos on the shoulders. Like what's the feeling like going into an ECHL training camp and really just being like this is like this is like NHL moments for me.
That was a dream come true, man. When I started this journey of playing hockey, um, the ECHL was pretty much my NHL. You know, like that's what I'm looking at, that I'm trying to make. That's what I'm gunning for, and that's my NHL. And so when I actually got like the call and I was there. It was such a surreal moment. I tried taking it all in, and every second you try to soak it in, stay at the rink a little longer, shoot some more pucks on the ice, be the last guy off, try to be the first guy on, just take everything in. And my roommate, Hyder, great guy. I was nervous because you never know. Like you could get a roommate that's kind of not gonna be the nicest. He knows you're
Yeah.
not there for that long. And he was a beauty, man. Ended up seeing that my name was on the roster for both preseason games, and our jerseys were actually in the hallway hung up. And just I was telling him like, yeah, like I can't wait to see just an NHL logo on my shoulder. Like dream, especially like the story I told you from where I come from, and
Yeah.
like, I'm never supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And he pulled me to the jersey and was like, "Yeah, what number are you? Yada yada yada." And ended up pulling the jersey out, and dude, to see the Phantoms and the Philly logo, like dream come true, literal. Like that's what I set out to do. I don't have a game played yet on my EP, and obviously, like I'm that's what I'm fighting for that. That's what I'm training hard for. But that dude, that was everything I could have asked for. The equipment managers were amazing. Jaybird and I believe Sean, the coach, they were beauties, man. They made the experience amazing.
Yeah, and like it makes you hungrier to get to to like actually get in a regular season game
Yeah.
and just to be able to be like, this is like what I've dreamed to be to this is what I've dreamed to do since I wanted to play pro, since I started playing hockey, is to be like, obviously everyone wants to make it to the NHL, but like to have it be like, this is my NHL, like it's like a dream come true, and like you're just fighting for it every single day. And whether you're tired or you're exhausted, like every day like motivates you to get to that level and get that work in so you can finally get that call and play in a regular season game.
Yeah, I definitely give thanks to Clarky too. He he helped me out on that, and he was a huge advocate for me. And but yeah, the fact that it was my second year and I got to get a whiff of what that was like. I mean, I mean, it turned me up. I mean, obviously, I went back to Elmira and got hurt right away.
Yeah.
Had a really tough year, but could not wait to get into that off season with that type of mentality. Seeing guys like Mongo, who's on the team, just I mean, probably the fastest skater I've ever seen. You know what I mean? On
Yeah.
ice, he is a workhorse, and but to see this and see how serious these guys take it, obviously they have fun. You know what I mean? You're going out, you're having beers with the guys, and you're enjoying it. Um, but how serious they take the stretching, how serious they take just the lifting, and you have fun stretching, you have fun
Yeah.
lifting and stuff, but they're doing it. They're getting it done. They're eating, they're hitting their if they're tracking their macros, they're hitting it. And that's what you have to do when you want to play at a level like that. Like unless you have some unreal God-given talent where you can just wake up, go to the rink, put the skates on, and go stroll around and do it, like good for you. But
Yeah.
like that's so rare, you know? And that's where you get the little flams.
Yeah.
And, but no,
That's where people are. That's where like all the quotes where it's like hard work will beat talent. Like at the end of the day, like if you
yeah,
keep working hard, like you could have all the talent in the world, but like eventually it's gonna stale out and be stagnant. But like if you keep working hard and like overcoming those obstacles, that's when like that's when you're really gonna excel over those guys that are just doing stuff based off their talent.
100%. Because I don't even remember. There's another quote, but those, yeah, they burn out quick. Um, yeah, they burn out quick, and they're not going to be there for you when it's the third period of a championship
Yeah.
game. They're not going to be there for you in a 3-3 on the third game. They're not going to be there for you when there's a scrum in front of the net and you have two guys trying to rip your head off, and you know what I mean. Like those guys just aren't. They won't be there. You know, they fade
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, exactly. But like, do you have any tips that you'd like to give like younger guys looking to get into the junior game, the college game, the pro game, like whether it be like whatever situation it may be, just to like go up another level? Like, what tips and advice would you give the younger players?
The younger guys, I would give. You've got so much time. Like when I was that age, I thought it was, like I if I don't get this D1 scholarship right now, like it's over. Or
Yeah.
if I don't get this, then I'm done. If I don't, and you put all these clocks over your head, and there's guys in the coast that have played D3 and whatever, and some guys in the coast that never played college, and so my biggest advice is you have time, perfect your craft, work hard every single day. Like get your 1% every day. Um, because before you know it, you will be too old or you will wish, I wish I worked harder back then or I wish I did this. Um, but my biggest advice is to just realize you have time and go to work and enjoy the journey. Talk to as many people as you can. Um, Meet as many people as you can, be a good person, uh, because there is a life after hockey. You know what I mean? You make a lot of connections,
Yeah.
and so, but yeah, just being a good person. That's it. Show up to work, work hard, and be a good person.
Yeah, you got time to just perfect your craft, get to work every single day, be a good person, get that 1% better every day, and the when you do that, the days and the steps and the percent and like everything's gonna start to click eventually.
Yeah, I mean, when you're building like brick on brick, and obviously, you look up, holy crap, I got a wall, or
Yeah,
like good days on good days, just good days on good days of eating when you say you're gonna eat, going to sleep when you say you're gonna eat, training when you say you're gonna train. Um, all of that builds confidence, and yeah, just don't put a clock over your head. Go to work and enjoy it.
yeah. Sky's the limit at the end of the day. You can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of the mentality I went into it with was I might make it, might not, who knows? Well, let's just see,
Just have fun doing it.
Exactly. And sometimes I take it a bit too serious, I'll be
Yeah.
honest.
Think we
And
all do.
then yeah, and then you kind of take a step back and you're like, "Oh shit, like
Yeah.
I'm getting paid to go to the rink right now. This is a blessing."
Yeah, exactly. It's a blessing and it's a lot of fun. So it's a marathon, not a sprint. So you just got to
Yeah.
keep working, keep building those bricks up.
You never know what's gonna happen to. Like, I mean, once you get to the pro level or whatever, you never know
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. And that was part of me going into last summer after having a really good year, thinking I'm just gonna go to the Fed and be able to just do it. I was still lifting, not as hard as I did my first year. And what do you know? Like I got a call to the coast. Like, holy shit, I should have been training harder. I should have been ready,
Yeah.
and you never know what's gonna happen. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to take this last couple minutes to go over like some questions that from the viewers from
Yeah.
the Instagram Q&A. So first one is, how much better did Chris Mars make you at practice?
Oh, what a legend. Smart. He is a beauty, man. That
He
guy,
is.
he we would be in a pinch. I wish he was our tender. I tried convincing. We would be in a pinch anytime and he would show up for us. That guy, he's a legend. That guy made me a great hockey player. We'll say that. He's a legend, man.
Yeah, he's a beauty and a great goaltender as well.
Yes, he's actually getting his chance in the Fed this year, I believe, and
Yeah.
rightfully deserved.
Oh
Rightfully
yeah.
deserved.
I wish him nothing but the best of luck and hopefully we get to play against each other soon.
What a beauty.
The next one is, what's your favorite pregame snack and or snacks that you've had on the road?
Um, Pregame snacks. I'm actually changing up my routine this year, but in the past it would be just chicken Alfredo in the morning
There we
or
go.
something. I would actually eat a lot of candy. Um, I would have twin snakes at the rink. I would always keep a big half-gallon bag underneath my stall. The guys would rip them apart. I had never made a bag last a week. Uh, but candy, I just always thought sugar and not sugar, but yeah, sugar and carbs for a game was kind of good. Not
Yeah.
obviously you don't want to crash. I'd end up having some candy on the bench and ever feel just me going down, load me up.
So Willie's success fame is eating candy between periods on the bench before games. Like it's the candy that brings you success.
Dude, I had a couple people from other teams when I played for Watertown. I'd go visit Watertown and they would surprise me with like 10 bags of candy. It's amazing. People from Watertown, they would I still have candy in my room right now from the season actually. So that's fun.
That's crazy. But hey, whatever works for you, like works for you, and you just gotta live by it and just keep going at it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but Willie, I want to say thank you again for being able to join the show and share your story. Like I appreciate your time and want to wish you the best of luck with Baton Rouge and hopefully see you in the last game of the regular season if you're still there, but hopefully you're not.
Dude, I'm incredibly thankful to be on your pod, man. You're killing it. See your setup is sick. So I appreciate all the kind words, conversation. Best of luck to you. And this year, just keep pressing, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever you know what it is, keep keep pressing, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Keep working, keep having fun, and the rest will do its job.
Exactly. So